Today, we delve into the Shetland Bus, a secret lifeline across some of Earth's most dangerous waters during World War II. In freezing darkness, small wooden fishing boats slipped silently. No heavy armor, no escort fleets, just courage, secrecy, and the constant threat of death. German patrols meant certain doom. If the weather turned, the sea itself would swallow them whole, yet night after night, they sailed. This was the Shetland Bus, one of World War II's most daring covert operations. In April 1940, Nazi Germany invaded Norway. Within weeks, the country fell under occupation. Norwegian resistance fighters faced brutal crackdowns. Communications were cut, escape routes limited. The North Sea became a barrier between occupied Norway and Free Britain. But geography offered one narrow possibility: the Shetland Islands, northeast of Scotland. The distance was roughly 200 miles, a dangerous but survivable journey for experienced sailors. Early in the occupation, Norwegian refugees began fleeing to Shetland in fishing boats. Many were fishermen accustomed to harsh Arctic conditions. British intelligence saw an opportunity. If small boats could cross one way, they could cross both, delivering agents, weapons, and supplies into occupied Norway, bringing refugees and resistance members back to Britain. Thus, the Shetland Bus was born. Operated initially by Norwegian resistance with British support, later under the SOE. The mission was simple in concept but deadly in execution: maintain a secret maritime link. The boats were small, wooden fishing vessels designed for coastal waters, not open ocean winter crossings. They had no heavy defenses. Their only protection was darkness and silence. The North Sea was unforgiving. Between 1941 and 1945, the Shetland Bus conducted more than 200 missions. Crews transported agents, radios, explosives, and trained saboteurs into Norway. They evacuated refugees, resistance leaders, and sometimes entire families fleeing Nazi persecution. But every crossing was a gamble. German patrol boats and aircraft monitored the coastline. Mines littered the sea lanes, and winter storms in the North Atlantic were legendary. Waves as high as buildings crashing over decks, ice forming on railings, engines failing. In 1941 and 1942, the operation suffered heavy losses. Several boats were intercepted, crews were captured or killed. Others simply vanished in storms, leaving no survivors. One of the darkest periods came in 1943, when multiple vessels were lost in quick succession. The strain threatened to end the mission entirely. The turning point came with faster, more heavily armed submarine chasers provided by the United States. These steel vessels were stronger, quicker, and better suited for open sea operations. Though still operating in secrecy, they could outrun German patrol boats and endure harsher weather. With improved ships, the operation became more effective and more daring. Among the most celebrated figures was Leif Andreas Larsen, one of the most decorated naval officers. He completed dozens of crossings, surviving ambushes, storms, and near disasters. His leadership symbolized quiet heroism. The Shetland Bus played a critical role in sustaining Norwegian resistance. Weapons and radios enabled sabotage. Intelligence gathered in Norway flowed back to Britain. The psychological impact was important. Occupied Norway was not forgotten. By 1945, the secret lifeline helped maintain resistance until liberation. Though small in scale compared to major naval battles, the human cost was profound. Dozens of crew members lost their lives, some drowned in freezing seas, others executed after capture. Many survivors carried physical and psychological scars long after the war ended. The mission demanded extraordinary endurance. Crews endured constant exposure to cold and exhaustion. They navigated without modern radar systems, often relying on memory and instinct in near total darkness. Families waited anxiously for news that often never came. But the global impact far exceeded its size. Its strength and allied intelligence operations in Scandinavia, it allowed sabotage efforts, disrupting German troop movements and industrial operations. It maintained morale among the Norwegian people, proving that resistance continued despite occupation. In strategic terms, it tied down German resources. In moral terms, it became a symbol of solidarity between Norway and Britain, a bond forged in sacrifice. The Shetland Bus demonstrated that even small-scale operations, by determined individuals, can influence war. The story of the Shetland Bus is not one of massive armies or decisive battlefield clashes. It is a story of quiet bravery. Wooden boats against steel warships, fishermen against an empire. In the darkness of the North Sea, ordinary men carried extraordinary burdens. They sailed knowing that capture meant death. They sailed knowing the sea might claim them, and still, they sailed. When Norway was finally liberated in 1945, the missions ended, but the legacy endured. The Shetland Bus became a symbol of resilience, proof that resistance can survive under occupation. Sustained by courage and determination, history often remembers the grand battles. Yet hidden beneath those headlines are smaller stories of endurance and sacrifice. The Shetland Bus reminds us that war is not only fought by massive fleets and armored divisions. Sometimes it is fought in silence, on freezing decks, under the cover of night. And sometimes the fate of freedom depends on a handful of brave souls crossing a dark and dangerous sea.